Okay, well, here's the last video for Lesson 1, Functions Review. We're going to review function notation because it's going to be important coming up in the next few lessons. So this should seem familiar to you. Example number 7, if f of x, now really if you see that f of x, that means we're using function notation. So if f of x is equal to x squared plus 4x plus 5, find the following in simplest form. So really, if you notice, if you compare that to this, you'll notice really to find f at 2, x has just been replaced with 2. So you know what we're going to do? Everywhere we see x in the original equation, we're going to scoop it out with brackets, and we're going to put in a 2. Okay? And that means all we have to do now is simplify that. 2 squared plus 4 times 2 is 8, plus 5, and 12 plus 5, that should be 17. Okay, part B. This time, we haven't replaced x. You'll notice that's still x inside the f of x. So we're going to use basically the original function, but what is different about it is there's a 2 in front of the whole thing. So instead of just the regular, we're going to have a 2 in front of the whole thing, and that's how we're going to be getting this equal to 2 bracket x squared plus 4x plus 5. And then we can simplify that. And there we go, we get 2x squared plus 8x plus 10. Awesome. Okay, now you guys should try some of these as well. So why don't you pause your video now and try C and D on your own, and then let it play and see if we got the same answer. Okay, let's go through this and see if we got the same answer. F of 2 of x. So this time we're replacing x in our original function. So scoop the x out, through and scoop it out, put 2x in, and we square 2x. We've got to square the 2 as well, so we would have 4x squared plus 8x plus 5, and no like terms to collect, so we're done with that one. Okay, hopefully you got the same answer. Let's look at D. Okay, so D, we've got f of x all by itself, nothing being multiplied by it. So you know what? We're just going to simply rewrite that as what it equals, which is x squared plus 4x plus 5. Then we have the minus 2. Now that we can simplify. So we can collect the like terms of positive 5, negative 2, and that would leave us positive 3. Great. Okay, now you guys pause your video again and try the next two. Okay, so once again it looks like x was replaced because it's no longer f of x, it's f of x minus 2. So wherever I see x in the original, I'm using brackets and scooping it out. But our new x is x minus 2, so that's going to go in wherever x was. So I'm just going to write that down. Great. Now that can be simplified. We could expand that. Now remember, when you're expanding a binomial, let me just throw an extra step in here. X minus 2 times x minus 2, and you have to FOIL or multiply the first, outer, inner, last together, or you can call that distributive property. So that's going to be x squared, and then outside negative 2, inside negative 2, so that will be negative 4x plus 4, negative 2 times negative 2, plus 4x minus 8 plus 5. Okay, we are done expanding. Is there like terms? You betcha. Okay, so we have an x squared, we have a negative 4x and a positive 4x. Well, that will equal 0, so we have no x term. Positive 4, negative 8 is negative 4, plus 5 is positive 1. And that should be our final answer. Hope you got that too. Okay, this one, again, x was replaced with negative x. So I'm going to run through our original, scooping x out, put negative x in. Okay, and now we simplify negative x squared. So remember, that's like negative 1x, and we're squaring that. So negative 1 squared would be positive 1. So just 1, and then x squared is x squared. Of course it is. Oh, now this one. Did you write that plus sign too and then realize it needed to be negative? Okay, so 4 times negative x would be negative 4x. Or 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. And then plus 5. And that should be your answer. Hopefully you got the same thing. All right, let's take a look at example number 8. Consider the function f of x equals x cubed. Match each function on the right with the expression on the left. Okay, so a little bit of matching going on here. Okay, well, let's look at this first function. That might be easier. Looks like we've replaced, oh, and we got to remember this is our original function. We basically have x cubed as our function. Okay, and the first one here on number 1, they've replaced x with x plus 5. So we should be able to see x scooped out, cube on the outside, and x plus 5 on the inside. So it looks like that one matches. So B matches with function 1. All right, next one, function number 2, it looks like x was scooped out and 5x was put in. So again, we should see x replaced and a cube on the outside and 5x in the middle. So that looks like D. So D looks like it's going to be function number 2. Okay, now this one, f of x, there's been nothing replaced. So we should have x cubed showing up somewhere in our function. But there's a 5 added at the very end. So we have a whole x cubed and then the plus 5. So the third function matches A. A would be 3. And by deduction, of course, these ones do, but let's take a look. X has been replaced with 5. So in our function, we should scoop x out and put in a 5. That should give us C. So C would equal 4. All right, example number 9. We have an absolute value function. F of x equals the absolute value of x. That's our original function. And they're turning it around on us. Write the following in the terms of the function f. So if we see the absolute value of x anywhere in our expression, we can scoop that out and put in f of x, because that's what it equals. Okay, like on the first one. See this here? We know that's f of x. Okay. And then, of course, there's a minus 4 tacked on, so we'll just tack that on again. All right, now the next one's a little bit trickier, B, because it's not just the absolute value of x, it's x minus 4. So guess what happened? X got scooped out, and x minus 4 got put in. So in our function, if x is scooped out, then we got to scoop it out in the f part too. So we're going to scoop it out and put in x minus 4. So our answer would be f of x minus 4. Okay, I'll do C, and then you guys are going to try the next few. So next one, again, we've got absolute value of x here, so that is equivalent to f of x, and then there's a 2 in front. I did the easy one. Okay, now you guys pause the video and try D, E. You know what? Try the rest, okay? And then we'll see if we got the same answer. All right? Okay. How did you do? Let's take a look at D. I got an answer of f at 2x. We replaced x because instead of x inside the absolute value, it's 2x, so we should have gotten f at 2x. Then E should be 3 minus, and then we replace absolute value of x with f of x. That's what it equals. Okay, so that one should be good too. Now here, we have the absolute value, but instead of x, we have x plus 3. So instead of x in f of x, we need to have f of x plus 3. And then the minus 2 goes along for the ride there. All right, now this one's a little weird, but it's actually fairly straightforward. Absolute value of x on the bottom, that means that can be f of x, so 1 over f of x is your answer. And then finally H, absolute value, but instead of x inside, we have negative x. So in f of x, instead of x, we have negative x. So our answer would be f at negative x. All right, you guys tackle the assignment according to our unit outline. I hope it goes awesome, and you can work on that in class tomorrow. And we'll talk soon.